Oh boy, it seems like we're just racing through the 250s at this point. Last time Pathfinder, this time Wild Hunter. Now, I'm gonna start this one off with massive thanks to MisusingTv, also known as Matt. He donated his crossbow to help me with Peg 10k Legion grind, and it has been absolutely invaluable already. But Wild Hunter was pretty much in the perfect spot for a 250. It had everything. It had a 2x event, it had a haste event, and it had an OP EXP buff that stacked with MVP. Rest in peace, Cloudy buff. So even though I felt like I was incredibly casual with my grinding on this character, only averaging about 6 hours a day grinding, I made it to 250 very, very fast. Haste absolutely carried this class. It made the 240 to 250 grind so fast. But we'll get to that. Same equips as my last archer. Same drop gear as always. Nothing too special. Pendant of Spirit, always, because you need the EXP. Obviously Matt's crossbow, which helped out immensely. We'll just quickly go over all of these. Still waiting on a double miracle time to get these theyr'e equips to unique, but God knows when we'll get that. It should be soon. They're usually around winter. A very good, like this secondary is pretty much what I aim for most of my 250s, because 21%, it's good, but it's not too good that it gets super expensive to make. And then a quote-unquote 2-line emblem. I just was not getting any luck rolling this thing, so I stuck with this, because crit rate's actually pretty helpful for your vicious shot burst. Oops. As for the V-Matrix, yes, I do have 4 slots empty. One of these was for the EXP node. The other ones didn't really need. Quite honestly, all of these Jaguar nodes down here, if you're just grinding to 250, completely ignore these. You don't need them. I made them because I kind of expected that I would need them to do some bossing, but it actually ended up being the Jaguar skills are kind of strong even without the boost nodes. And more often than not, I wasn't doing any bossing, so I just left them off. Maxed out Decent Holy Symbol, the most important skill for all 250s. Maxed out Guided Arrow, because now that it works, and it does work, unlike Pathfinder, it's very, very, very useful. And now for pretty much the only trio you're gonna need for 250 grinding on Wild Hunter. Wild Arrow Blast, Final Attack, and Hunting Assistant unit. That's it, you just need one try, and that's all you need to get there. Jaguar Storm's good, it'll help control the map. For bossing, it feels like it's useless or overpowered. The AI on the Jaguar is actually stupid. If it would just focus on a target, it would be good, but it doesn't, so it's kind of hit or miss. Grenades, outside of bursting elites, I hardly use this skill. Infantry, probably the most overpowered 5th job skill of all time, of all classes. It's just so versatile. Absolutely get it. And then just, of course, Rope Lift, Vicious Shot for burst, and True Arachnid of Perfection once you get to 235. Now, for Wild Hunter, 200 to 210, I didn't really find a good map for this. I was leveling fast enough that I was just going through maps trying them out. I tried Below the Cave, I tried Eastern Cave Path, I tried Blazing Urdos, and all of them felt good, but they weren't great. I even went down and tried Hidden Cave like on my Pathfinder, but it just wasn't working out. So I ended up going up here to the 80 Arcane Force map, the Hidden Fire Zone, and this one is actually where I finished up my 210 grind. Now, the rotation here very heavily relies on you having a Lucid Soul and it being able to at least 1 or 2 shot, but my rotation was I would get up here and then toss this over, because that'll hit the bottom because Hunter Assistant unit is OP, then Lucid Soul in the middle, then I would go over here in Jaguar Storm. It can't get to the top, but that's alright, you don't need to clear that one, and then just clear along the bottom with Frenzied Spawn. And while you're not necessarily fully clearing the map, and like that top right corner, and your clear is pretty dependent on Lucid Soul and Hunting Assistant unit, this was where I was getting the best EXP per second, so I stuck this out till 210. And honestly, the 210 grind is very, very short for Wild Hunter. You'll get out of these maps pretty darn quick, so you don't need to worry about it being hyper efficient too much. For 210 to 220. There's Slippery Forest Depths, which I used for some of my levels. So I'll show the rotation here, because it's not that bad actually. This one, I would toss Hunter Assistant Unit up here, so that it would take over this. Then I would Lucid Soul the side. And then I would just jump and clear these. Because at the apex of your jump, it doesn't quite look like it, but your Wild Arrow Blast does indeed clear those mobs because its hitbox was buffed recently. And that actually opens up a lot of different training rotations. So I would just clear along this, and then let Hunter Assistant Unit take care of that, and let Lucid take care of the left. Now you could also drop, if you wanted to do like a loot cycle, you could just drop infantry here like on Battle Mage, because infantry is amazing. Go back up here, grab everything, hop down, replace your turret, and then just go back to grinding. It's a very simple rotation, but as everyone knows, Slurpy Forest Depths is incredibly, incredibly crowded, and you have to buy Firestarter service. Ooh, God forbid, wasting Meso. So the map I actually trained to 210 in is Biddy Bopple 1. Also a pretty popular map, but not nearly as popular as Slurpy. Like, look, 90% burning to what was the last one, 10%? And this one's pretty easy. Lucid on the left. Oh, didn't mean to throw that out. And then I would throw the Hunter Assistant Unit up here. I'll wait for the cooldown. Just toss it up there, and then you clear everything over here. Oh man, look how easy this is. Isn't this great? And if your Lucid Soul is one-shotting like mine is, it's actually really, really good. It competes with Slurpy rates even, and it's super duper simple. Now for 220 to 225, honestly, I couldn't find a map that wasn't Rev 3. I tried, I really did. I couldn't find one that was as good as Rev 3. But over here in the corner, I just dropped Lucid on the house because that's pretty much the best place to put her. And then I threw the Hunter Assistant Unit up there and then just jump attack left and right here. And this is really, really good clear. Like, this is very, very good map clear for how simple it is. Now, for a lot of people, Wild Hunter isn't going to be strong enough that your Lucid Soul's one-shotting. I don't even think mine is. So I would just drop infantry on cooldown up there on the house, and then just continue to jump attack left and right down here. The clear speed is really, really fast. It's kind of awkward to loot, but that's kind of just Rev 3 in general. But very, very fast, and none of the other maps felt that great. Like, I tried the clock tower even, doing a drop-down strategy that someone recommended. It didn't get nearly as much EXP. So, Rev 3 just remains the sleeper OP map of the game. Then, once you're 225, you have the map that I stayed in for a majority of my 250 grind, CLP. And I wish it wasn't so, because I'm getting kinda tired of looking at CLP. And it's really a shame on Wild Hunter because, as I'll show later, Asphera is really, really, really good for Wild Hunter. Now CLP, there wasn't really a hyper-efficient rotation like Beast Tamer where I would just fire and drop down and get full map clearage with amazing EXP rates and little effort. It was either high effort, good EXP, or low effort, okay EXP. And thank God for haste, cloudy buffs, and the 2x event we had for this character. I went for that low effort, okay EXP strategy. And it's very, very low effort. The setup is literally just drop everything you have and the kitchen sink here at the bottom. Toss your assistant unit in the corner. Let me move this down. And then just, you're standing here in the middle, and you just jump attack left and right. This is the rotation. Once Lucid Soul comes back off cooldown, then I drop down, drop everything again, jump back up here, and just keep jump attacking left and right. It does get good EXP. It's very, very low effort, but my god, I have never felt more like a paperweight in my life than doing this. My left hand has spent more time holding down my alt key than even moving in the past 3 weeks. I feel like a glorified paperweight with this training strategy, but it is okay EXP. It's very simple. It allows you to watch something on the side, not focus too heavily on grinding. but it's not the best EXP, and God alive, it wasn't the map I wanted to be training in, because Esfera, MTS 2, 3, or 4, you can pick any one of them. Wild Hunter just controls these maps so well, but I didn't have the damage to clear it to make it as efficient as I needed it to be. And I would just throw Hunter Assistant Unit to a side, drop Infantry on the other side, drop Lucid Soul or True Arachnid Reflection, whichever one you got, and then you clear along the bottom. And man, if I was one-shotting, if my Lucid Soul was two-shotting, if I could actually like get that 1.5x Arcane Force bonus, I would have trained in these maps from 235 to 250. It feels so good. The Wild Hunter controls this map so well. Everything's low cooldown too, so there's very little downtime on any of these skills. I wish I was strong enough to make this more efficient than CLP, because I really, really do like how Wild Hunter trains in this map. And it would be one of the first 250s outside of Pathfinder, really, that was able to train in Esfera, but I was limited by the low base damages that Wild Hunter has on its mobbing, and that's a little bit of a shame. But for a majority of Wild Hunter, your limiting factor is definitely going to be the base damage on Wild Arrow Blast. It is really low. Like, this is 10 mil range. Like, I think I'm getting 1.3 times damage, 10 mil range, a maxed out boost node, and I'm still not one-shotting or one-ticking with Wild Arrow Blast. That's really, really low. Like, obviously advanced final attack and the fact that it's a hurricane make up for it, but not being able to like flick one little arrow to the side and actually reliably kill everything that it's going through really, really makes your rotations have to be that much more focused. And it's just, yeah, it's too much focus, especially when there's something like CLP, which is pretty much just shut my eyes and just paperweight my attack key. Fuck. Bossing on Wild Hunter, though, was actually pleasantly surprising. This class has so many freaking skills with your Jaguar skills. I had to, while I was bossing before I got all of the items that I wanted out of the Gullik shop, the Commercy shop, and so on, when I was using my Jaguar Storms, I had to move almost everything around on my key settings so that I could boss comfortably, but it's actually pretty fun to boss as a Wild Hunter. My only biggest complaint is the Jaguar Storm UI. These cats are retarded. Not even joking. The AI on them is so bad. You'll spawn one of them, it'll hit the boss. The other 7, fuck all. They're not doing anything. They just walk left and right looking pretty. It's so bad. I wish they would just add a little indicator like, oh hey, this cat's not attacking something? Well, there's an enemy right there, literally 5 inches next to it. Maybe if it turned around and attacked that. But no. Unfortunately, we got the goofy kitties for the AI. So, overall, even with the low base damages, the mobbing was pretty fluid. Obviously, I'm a little overfunded compared to what a lot of people will be coming into this, but the mobbing on Wild Hunter is very, very good. They feel like the entire class, everything this class does, mobs really, really well. And it seems like what they have like burst mobbing rather than burst bossing. And that's kind of hard to explain because with Jaguar Storm on a map, Jaguar Storm pretty much handles the map by itself. It'll full clear the damn thing if they're strong enough. That's really, really, really good. But, and then in bossing, Jaguar Storm is pretty much, it's supposed to be your burst skill, but the AI on it just makes them so goofy that it's hardly that much of a DPS increase. I would be shocked if Vicious Shot wasn't more of a DPS increase than Jaguar Storm. But I'm not a Wild Hunter main, so that's just my insights, barely playing the class. However, the next 250 is 100% going to be Marksman. because Matt was generous enough to lend me his crossbow, and I don't want to hold on to this for too long. So I'll pump out marksman. Hopefully that's fun. I'm expecting it to be fun. I've watched a few videos leading up to it, and it looks like it's very, very heavily reliant on vicious shot, or not vicious shot, what's it called? Split shot. So it seems like when split shot's on, Wild Hunter or Marksman is going to be a very, very good mobber, and when split shot's off, I'm going to have to find a rotation to use until it comes back up. But we'll get to that when we play it. As always, if you have any questions on grinding Legion to 10k, grinding as a Wild Hunter, or just playing the game in general, go ahead and ask down below. I'll be sure to respond to any and all questions. And I hope you liked the video. I'll see you next time.